The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Sunday. And you know what that means? It's time to investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that old outlaw, that cagey outlaw, that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. It is weekly purchases, and there is a lot of stuff for weekly purchases. We got multiple rounds of weekly purchases, and hopefully you guys checked out weekly purchases last week, as I did score one of the biggest figures in my collection. Some would say the biggest figure in my collection. We talked about that last week in weekly purchases. Well, this week I got a deal I couldn't refuse. An offer came through, and I got something else special. You guys will see that in this very video, so stick around to the end. We got a heavy hitter, but we always kick off the weekly purchases with a little bit of housekeeping, and of course, Patreon. We got the Patreon giveaway for the month of May. It's an ultimate giveaway. It is the Ultimate Warrior Ultimate Edition. We are giving this away on the Patreon for the month of May. Thank you to all you guys and gals that are supporting the Patreon. Of course, we got videos every single day over there. There's about 200 videos up there before they hit traditional YouTube, and a lot of them never going to be on traditional YouTube. So check out some of those videos. Check all that kind of stuff out. There's a monthly Q&A. I did the Q&A this month. Posted it just this week from beautiful Minnetonka, Minnesota. Oh, if you saw my figure hunt this week, I was in Minnesota for work. I was up there. I stayed in Minnetonka, of all places. I wanted to get as close to those wrestling buddies and the trucks from the old Tonka day as I could. And that's what I did up in Minnetonka. I tried to knock on Greg Gagne's door. I said, Greg, I want to get to the bottom of this Power Town conspiracy. But he wasn't answering. That's the way it goes. But I was up there. Shout out to old Dave Wheeler. Check out the old Dave Wonder YouTube channel. He helped me fix a couple of action figures while I was up there. We did hit a concert. Check out the figure hunt. Check it out on the channel this week. But Patreon members, Ultimate Warrior is the figure giveaway. We will have a new figure here in about a week or so to give away for the month of June. That is my birthday month. Oh, it's going to be a banger of a June. G.I. Joe June, as they do say. So stay tuned for all that. Of course, we're dangerously close to 30,000 subscribers. When we hit 30,000 subscribers, we're going to do another giveaway here on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, get after it. Tell a friend, all that kind of fun stuff. Pro Wrestling Tees this weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend for all you guys and gals that are celebrating out there. Shout out to a 3-day weekend if you're so lucky to get one. Pro Wrestling Tees running a big sale this week. 25% off all t-shirts. That's the time. Got to get a deal out there. If you're not going to pick up one of my t-shirts, search Kyle Peterson Pro Wrestling Tees. Pick up a Terry Funk shirt. Time to get those Terry Funk shirts ready for summer. Pick one up out there. Very, very cool. So there it is. But let's dive into the Memorial Day weekend episode of Weekly Purchases. But let's start it off as well with the week that was here on the channel. A lot of videos. Things move fast. We always got to recap what happened this week on the channel. AEW Unrivaled Series 12 and WWE Greatest Hits Series 2. We've been working our way through all of the videos of all those figures. And then, of course, the rankings at the end. So check out all those videos up on the channel right now. And even earlier on Patreon, as I always do say. The Iron Sheik got his flowers this week, as we did do a top 5 Iron Sheik figures of all time. Sheik doesn't have as many figures as he should. As long as he's been around, he should have had a few more figures. I do fully expect him to be announced for the Coliseum collection one of these days. I think that'll definitely happen. It'd be a good one to go with the Hulk Hogan from Series 1 LJN. I think they could do that together. We'll see what happens with that. We did Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham recently passed away, as we know. I dived into the old Patreon archives, pulled out those Jakks Classic Superstars videos. Those were supposed to release sometime in 2024. We're doing them early in tribute to Billy Graham. Got the red tights version and the black and white, 2 very rare figures, especially that red tight one. 1 of 500 is what I truly believe that to be. It was only sold in one Toys R Us location in Chicago area. That was the only chance to ever get that figure. That is one of the sleepers of the Classic Superstars line. We did unbox it. Yes, you heard right, unboxed it this week. Check out that video up on YouTube. We unboxed a little Batman 66 with the Bat Cycle, playing that long game. Got to get a deal. Pick that up for $8.99. An interesting one. We'll say, put it mildly there. But we did get Bat Cycle. Destro, Mezco, G.I. Joe. You know I love G.I. Joe. I had no plans to get Mezco. was caught at a weakest of weak moment. I pulled the trigger. I bought that Destro figure. Check out me as I dive into my first ever G.I. Joe Mezco figure. Definitely a good figure, especially if you like Destro. I would highly recommend that one. Ant-Man, the Astonishing Ant-Man, as he's known in some circles. We did unbox the Target exclusive one on the channel this week. Check that one out. We did a threesome of McFarlane Toys Spawn figures with Medieval Spawn, Sin, and Monolith. We unboxed all of those on the channel this week as well. We also unboxed the Target exclusive Tracksuit Mafia. Yes, you heard it here first. 3 Tracksuit Mafia figures. Unboxed those on the channel. And then we did finish up Friday up with a figure hunt for the week. Of course, we're doing the figure hunt every single week. We're going to places. And like I said, up in Minnesota this week, and actually found a decent amount of stuff this week. So check out the old fig hunt. We got some footage of a concert, all kinds of stuff on that fig hunt video. So there it is. Another busy week for the old James Brown of YouTube. A lot of content to come for the next couple of weeks, as I did say. But now, let's dive into it. Let's dive into the question of the week.
Do you believe in the power of a curse?
Now that is quite the question right there. Do I believe in the power of a curse? And I believe the old Ronnie James Dio, his grandma as a kid, she used to throw one of those up. What was it called? Like the Maloik or something like that is what this is technically called, the Maloik. And she would throw that up to evade evil spirits. She'd go pow, pow, pow at people. A famous story that Dio used to tell. But I don't think I really believe in the power of a curse too much. But I do think that there's something to that. If you put bad energy into the world or you put good energy into the world, I think you can make some things happen sometimes. But you got to have that strong energy. And that's why you always got to try to be as positive as possible every single day. That's kind of how I live my life. Positivity, the power of positivity. You try to go with that one there. But I don't really believe in that whole curse stuff. If I wrote down I'm cursing you and you and you and you in the back, I don't think anything's going to happen. But you never know. The crazy things happen. You know how that goes. But power of the curse, probably not for me. But what about you guys and gals out there? Do you believe in the power of a curse? Have you ever been cursed? Did you tell the tale to live through it all? Let me know in the comments down below. It is definitely an interesting question. And I do got 2 shout outs before we do get into the weekly purchases this week. I did get a little mail call this week, and I made mention in one of my G.I. Joe videos where I said, man, I wish they all came with stands like the retro Zartan and Storm Shadow did. I made that comment in there. Well, Curtis Line sent me a couple extra stands. So I got 3 stands in the mail, a Cobra one, and a Joe one. So he must have had no use for these stands, but he sent them my way. I do appreciate it. I will make use of these. I really wish they would sell these on Hasbro Pulse, do something. Let's get these Joe stands out to the Joe buying public. I think that would be very cool. But Curtis Line, special shout out to you. And then I got to give a big brother shout out to old Gary out there. Just call him Gary. That's what his business card says. But right before I left town for my long week on the road, I picked up a package. And what was it? It was multiple packs of beef jerky. Yes, beef jerky. Who knew? But I am a beef jerky connoisseur. Absolutely love beef jerky. It's one of my favorite things. It's definitely probably top 3 favorite foods to eat, if you can believe that. I've tried tons of jerky over the years, and it's Jeff's Famous Beef Jerky is what Gary sent me here. And I'll put Gary's card up there. You can go to his website and get some of this. But I went through so many bags of this stuff. I'm down to my final 2 bags, but I don't know what I would have done on my Minnesota tour if I didn't have beef jerky powering me through the way. I'd be buying my own beef jerky is what I would have been doing. But definitely it was a nice surprise. Literally right before I got on the road, I got that beef jerky. So I was very excited to get that, and I was very pleased with the beef jerky. Now, I don't want to get this into a beef jerky review session here, but when I get my beef jerky, I like all kinds of beef jerky. But my least favorite kind of beef jerky is that super hard stuff you almost got to like suck on forever. It's like a dog chewing on a bone is what it feels like. Now, I always call that my grandpa's beef jerky. My grandpa used to eat stuff like that. And I could eat it. I'll eat it if I have to, but it's not my first choice. I love as ways have gone in the beef jerky, like beers and things. There's more flavors, different kind of stuff. And that's what they got here. There was all kinds of different flavors, which I absolutely love doing that kind of stuff. But I love a nice soft beef jerky, a nice tender beef jerky, one that's not going to rip your teeth out, things like that. That's exactly what this was. So I was very excited, very pleased, very happy to get that. So Gary, thank you very much for sending that beef jerky my way. But now let's dive into it. We got one of an all-timer purchase, and we got multiple rounds this week in weekly purchases. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Let's dive into the old weekly purchases. And I did pick this up from DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8%. And I did get the Dinobot Snarl. You guys know I dabble in my Transformers. We don't talk a lot of Transformers. I got a lot of Transformers, but I have to get the Dinobots, my all-time favorite faction, we'll call it. Did pick up Snarl there, just one step closer. Give me that swoop. Give me that swoop, Hasbro. We need to have him swoop in, hopefully sooner rather than later. How about a little Mezco action this week? Entertainment Earth, I told you guys on my social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter. I did post this up. It is in stock on Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. You save 10% immediately, and you get free shipping. Got to get a deal. I pulled the trigger myself on this. So I did get the Mezco 1/12 Ghost Rider. So this is going to be very, very interesting to unbox. We'll probably unbox it this week on the channel. See what all the fuss is about. I love a good vehicle. Ghost Rider was one I dabbled in. I wasn't all in every month on the comics, but definitely loved him. Loved him as part of the Fantastic Four. Oh, never forget, never forget. But I did pick up another Mezco. Destro as well. Speaking of Destro, how about that one? Destro 1/12 Mezco. Couldn't refuse a Joe. You guys know how I do. But got Ghost Rider this week and Destro. I'm all in on these Mezcos. All in, apparently. It's an expensive line. I don't recommend it. But I'm going to dabble. There might be some more I dabble in before things are said and done. Stay tuned to that, of course. How about a little Marvel Legend? How about a nice surprise from Walmart? No cancel on this pre-order. Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy Comic Edition through the door today, right before I started filming. We did get Star-Lord this week, so very cool to get him in hand and package. I'm here for that. We mentioned him earlier. Of course, this week I did get the Ant-Man, the astonishing Ant-Man. Target exclusive, all in red. I smell a...
You ever wonder if they're watching your every move? Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it. Post your...
A conspiracy, exactly right. A Target exclusive, all in red. I think we know what we're doing here. And once again, I smell it. I smell it. There's conspiracy everywhere. It's all over the place. We got the Tracksuit Mafia. We got one of those. We got two of those. And we got three of those. So I got three for a little army builder. I might pick up one or two more if I can get a deal there. There's been rumors going around. Of course, I'm filming this on Friday, that Target might be having a big sale next week. That it's like buy three, get one free. If that is the case, taking my receipt back in, I'm going to get one of these bad boys free. And I'm going to see what I can find out there. And I might get a few more figures this week at Target. So be on the lookout for that for sure. How about this one? You know who's on tour? Elvis is on tour. How about that? I picked this one up from Heroes Hideout on clearance, $12. $12. Now, I am not the biggest Elvis guy. I guess we'll talk about it when I unbox it. But this one was interesting enough for me to pick up, so I pulled the trigger on that one. Another DJC Collectibles pickup this week. Old Iron Maiden, you guys know I need a little peace of mind, and that's exactly what I have right here. Very fitting. It is the 40th anniversary of this album. I cannot believe Peace of Mind is 40 years old. Obviously, I wasn't listening to it 40 years, but the last, I don't know, 30 years, I don't know how many years old I was when I first heard Peace of Mind, but some could make the argument the greatest Iron Maiden album of all time. Most people probably say Number of the Beast. I'd probably say Peace of Mind, or I might be crazy and say Somewhere in Time. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. It'd be a great top 5 list on the channel one of these days. Not a lot of people like the Metallica top 5, but I would love to do an Iron Maiden top 5, Judas Priest top 5, Motorhead top 10. There's a lot I could do. I could just do a separate heavy metal channel. Maybe we'll do that. How about that? There you go. Big Bad Toy Store this week, the Joker Titan. I decided to pull the trigger. They had this on their daily sale. It was only, I think, $28, something like that. I'm not a huge fan of this figure, but I have every other Joker figure. I said, well, if I'm going to be complete, I'll get it. I'll get it at a deal price, and who knows, maybe it'll surprise me. So we'll unbox this. One of those long game unboxers. It'll be on Patreon for months before traditional YouTube, but an interesting looking figure. There's no doubt about that. The Titan Joker. Then we got some hot stuff coming in. We'll have these reviews up ASAP as well. Stay tuned for those. But we do get a little Hawkeye and his Sky Cycle. His Sky Sled, Sky Cycle, I guess technically. But we got that. A very, very, very popular one. A lot of people are looking at buying maybe a couple of these to get a couple extra Sky Cycles, but had to pick him up. There was no way I was passing on that one. And, of course, no way I was passing on this one. You know, I love a big figure. We got Thor. We got the Destroyer. We got the 2-pack of Doom. How about that? Looking really, really good here. Happy to have these two in the collection as well. So there it is. Round 1 of weekly purchases. We got another round, and we still got a Grail piece to come. Stick around for that. All right, we dive into round number 2. And round number 2, a little bit of mix of a few things, just like round number 1 was. But I did get in the mail via Super 7. I did finally get my Mo Super 7 Ultimate Simpsons apron. Of course, they sent these aprons out. Unfortunately, they forgot to include it with the figure. Super 7, as usual, made good on the offer. They got us the apron for Mo. All is right in the world there, so that did come through the door. So be on the lookout for yours if you did order a Mo. How about a little He-Man action this week via Amazon, because I forgot to cancel my order, but I did get an unpunched version of Skeletor. So I needed a mint one of this. I was actually planning on getting it through Big Bad Toy Store, but I guess Amazon will do, and I actually came minty. So that's a nice bonus there, and it is, of course, unpunched. So I got a little Snake Man, or I should say Dragon Blaster Skeletor, easy for me to say, through the door via our friends at Amazon. Amazon, shout out. You needed that shout out. But I also got from Amazon this week another nice surprise. Point Dread and the Talon Fighter. How about that? Plastic-free packaging. What are we doing here? But I did get the old Point Dread there. Very cool artwork on the box. Gonna have to unbox this bad boy. Always fun to get a vehicle, as you guys know. So we did get Point Dread via Amazon this week. And then the He-Man hits keep on coming. Masterverse. Who is that? Our old friend Faker. He's faking everybody out. But we got the new edition of Faker. We got Grizzlor, Princess of Power. Old Grizzlor looking good there. We got our friend Merman Part 2 in Revelations. There it is, another Merman figure. And last but certainly not least, a friend of mine and a friend of yours, Masterverse Buzz-Off. So we got another round of those. We'll do 2 different unboxings, 2 and 2, as we usually do with these Masterverse figures. Can't wait to dive into these ones. Stay tuned on the channel right there. Then we dive into a few other things. I actually did a little trade ski this week, and I did actually get a second Harley Race Greatest Hits. Harley Hysteria running wild, maybe not, but a lot of people looking for Harley, of course, after the fiasco of the Walmart flashback. I did get a second version of this, and I got some plans for this Harley. What are my plans? Well, I'm glad you asked. I do have this here. I did get this from Threadhead Clothing. You guys know when I did that Harley Race review, I said, I really wish they would have made him just a little bit different. They would have gave us a soft goods cape for Harley instead of the plastic one. Well, Threadhead came through. They made a soft version of a cape. I'm going to pull that cape off. I'm going to put this one up. Have a little bit of pointed difference. A very cool idea. Very happy they went that extra mile to do that. I'm very excited to get that cape on my Harley Race. So I'll post some pictures on my social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson in the future. Stay tuned for that. I was on the road, of course, up in Minnesota. I did come across this Seth Rollins. I figured I'd buy this one for a rainy day. I figure there'll be a good custom I can do. Maybe I'll get another head of myself made, and I'll have this as working Kyle. Springtime Kyle at work figure. I might have this on my desk at work. We'll see what happens. But I picked this one up, of course, basic figure. Didn't break the bank, that is for sure. So Seth Rollins through the door this week. And then a slow build. I've been diving in because these were only $15 at Target this week. I figure I'm going to have a mint on card set of Elite 100 to go with my basic 100 on card set. So I'm slowly piecing this together, and I love to piece it together at $15. So I did find the Rock this week up in Minnesota. Old eagle-eyed Dave Wheeler spotted it for me, so I did get the Rock. I think I'm just missing the regular Andre, and I'm sure I'll find it eventually on card, so stay tuned for that. And then I did pick up Mint on Card Samu Chase Edition. I picked up another one of these this week at the $15 price point. Now I have a Fatu and a Samu. I have doubles on card here of those 2 chases, and we are going to save those for a giveaway. I'm not sure if it'll be a good 30,000 subscriber giveaway or maybe the June Patreon giveaway. We'll figure something out with that one, but I am planning to give those away, so make sure you do subscribe to this channel. You don't want to miss out. And then I ended up picking up another one of these on the road this week, Kenny Omega Supreme. I love this Kenny Omega figure. I'm not the biggest Kenny Omega guy in the world, but I love the possibilities of the jeans and the shirts and all the different mix and match options. Might be cool. Once again, I'll get my head on there. Who knows? We'll go to work with that one. But I really do like the idea of this one. And I was planning on buying another one for the top of Kenny Omega. And I said, gosh, for not a whole lot more, I can get all the bells and whistles here. I can at least get another top, and I could sell all the accessories if I really wanted to. So I really kind of did the math in my head, and I felt this was the best way to go on this. So I did pick up another Kenny Omega Supreme this week. All right, that's everything over here. Now we got one more round, and the last round is a Grail piece and maybe a little bit of a story time. All right, let's close up weekly purchases with a final Grail piece pickup. And I might do a video talking a little bit more about this one, but you guys know one of the mottos on the channel, and a motto I live by every single day. And the question came up on my Patreon Q&A. Do you go about gotta get a deal in just figures or every aspect of life? And I can tell you, every aspect of life. Just ask my wife about it. Think of the money you can save if you're really planning ahead, thinking, doing all that kind of stuff. But today, we're going to talk gotta get a deal, but not really, because I've been saying it, gotta get a deal, gotta get a deal. Well, sometimes you do get that deal. More times than not, you do get that deal, but sometimes the deal goes the other way, and that's what happened with this figure here. Is I said, you know what, I'll play a little long game. I could have had this for, I think, $85 at first, then it was like $150, and then it kept growing and growing, and I said, well, I'm not a buyer at any of those prices, just ridiculous. Well, then we find out some things happened to make this not go to the market. What am I talking about? Well, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I did finally get, after much internal debate, the Chief is coming home. Old Chief J Strongbow Mattel Elite. Of course, first time in the line, last time in the line. Of course, once again, a canceled figure. Now, this was, of course, canceled because of he isn't a real Indian. So people got wind of that, and it cancellation process axed old Chief J Strongbow. Unfortunately, his family will not be able to eat meals for weeks upon weeks because of that. But got to get a deal. I was saying I was waiting and playing the long game. Well, sometimes you do that, got to get a deal, and you end up having to pay more than you really could have multiple times, and that's the boat I was in right now. I have seen this thing jump like crazy lately. Now the loose ones are going for over $1,000, so it's now or never in a lot of ways. So I did feel like I got a deal. It's definitely not that deal of $80, $150, $500. It's not those deals of the past, and it's a lesson out there. Sometimes you do got to get a deal, but sometimes you can't get a deal, and by trying to get a deal, you messed up along the way, and that's where the Chief ended me here. But I'm happy to have this in my collection, and you guys know I'm an elite completionist, and I don't count this. If you have every figure, this does not count, because this was not technically officially released. Same thing with Jeff Hardy Series 1. It was never really officially released. In my mind, that's my justification. You can have your own justification, but I do not count this as part of that. But I am happy to have that one in my collection finally. So it's the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the most expensive of times. That's the way it goes sometimes, and gotta get a deal doesn't always work out, so I wanted to definitely bring that up along the way. So there it is, a busy weekly purchases for the Memorial Day weekend. Got a lot of work to do, as you can see here, but a lot of unboxings coming to the channel, and who are we fooling? They're always coming to the channel. But what did you get out there this week? What did you pick up? What were your weekly purchases? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day and then some, and we're dangerously close to 30,000 subscribers, and we need your help. Make sure you do subscribe to this very YouTube channel. And then, of course, don't forget to like this video, as I did say. Don't forget about the Patreon. We got the Ultimate Warrior giveaway, dangerously close to the cutoff on that. We'll have a new giveaway in June. Of course, it is your best way to support the channel, but you do get all kinds of bonus content, exclusive content, Q&As, pizza reviews, dog stuff, you name it. There's a lot going on the Patreon. And like I said, best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. This is the weekend to do it. Save 25%. Got to get a deal on a t-shirt, and make sure you get a Terry Funk shirt while you're there. And don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the mighty Chief J Strongbow and all the weekly purchases everywhere, I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling into a Memorial Day holiday, and I'll see you guys all real soon.